I'm going to hand it over to some of the other star-studded speakers we have here today. My good friend, I want to call him a friend now, even though we've just begun to work together over the last couple of months. Someone that can speak from the heart, someone that knows this issue better than most people and is dedicated to this issue, Senator Portantino.
Let's give it up for Supervisor. Let's give it up for Supervisor Safai. Let's give it up. And his son, isn't that adorable? We got a group of young activists right here, don't we? Thank you, Supervisor Safai, for bringing us all together today. Because together we're going to make a difference, right? Yeah. Let's give it up for all the other folks who are here today. Gary Payton, the Warriors. Because there's not just warriors on the basketball field, there's warriors in public policy. There's superpower, there's superheroes today, right? And Decoding Dyslexia and the NAACP and the PTA are here, and the school board is here, and all the activists are here. Coming together to make a difference. And thank you for parents bringing out your students. Thank you for bringing out your young people for this important conversation. I happen to be a dyslexic. And my widowed mother didn't find out till I was in the 8th grade. I might actually tear up. And I remember getting special, what we called extra gym, to make it sound special. And I had to do it in front of the rest of the students. And that was difficult, because nobody knew. And so thank you for being out here, for being advocates for the next generation. Thank you. We're here to talk about dyslexia screening and the importance of it. And this is the importance of it, their future. SB 237 would require students in California, all students, to be screened. Dyslexia is the most common challenge our kids face. 15% of the general public, think about that, 15% of 40 million people in California. That touches a lot of us. So we've got to do better. We've got to identify. We've got to see that these promising people who are struggling to read at all levels get the help, get identified and get the help. Without this universal screening, students without resources aren't going to get the help. As the supervisor said, you know, those of us who are blessed to know pediatricians who can get our kids help, get our kids help. But there's a lot of people out there who can't afford it, who don't know the challenges, and that's why this is so critical. Students with dyslexia, believe it or not, face this challenge their whole life. I'm 61 years old, and the most traumatic thing for me to be is at a retreat and somebody hand me the marker and say, write on the board. Yep. I live in fear of that moment. As a senator, I live in fear of that moment, that somebody will see how lousy my penmanship is, how I transpose letters, how I misspell simple things. Because I didn't grow up with the love and the care that our supervisors' kids and other kids are getting. We have to do better. We just have to. As it's been said, 50 to 70% of our inmate population struggle. Could you imagine if they were identified in the 1st grade or in kindergarten and became readers? That is a huge social justice issue. A huge social justice issue. And we know that early intervention makes a difference. It's easier to help a 1st grader than an 8th grader. It's cheaper to help a 1st grader than an 8th grader. We have to do this. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. I lived it. I have staff members with dyslexic children. I have staff members who are dyslexic. 15% of us. That's a lot of people. And so this bill passed the state Senate 38-0. Bipartisan, at this time in the world, bipartisan support. Imagine that. And as the supervisor said, we can't get a hearing in the state assembly. We can't get a hearing. It's not because of resources. If you read in the paper, we got a $40 billion budget surplus. We can afford to do this now. We must do this now. And every class of student that we don't do it, we're failing. We're failing. We get the F, not the kids, because we're not doing our job. And so thank you all for being out today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being advocates, because each of us can touch somebody to make a difference in this fight. Because it is a fight, believe it or not. It's a fight. When you can't even get a hearing on something this important, it's a fight. And I think back, somebody said once, one person can't make a difference. I disagree. Each of us can make a difference. And if you remember Mother Teresa, what she said, when they tell me my efforts are but a drop in the ocean, I say, isn't the ocean better off for that drop? Because if each of us put a drop of ocean, we have a tidal wave. And I see superheroes, and I see an army of superpower, and I see some villains out there, ignorance and anger and lack of courage, that we have to fight to get this bill on the governor's desk, signed into law, so we can make a difference for our children's future who deserve us making a difference. So thank you for being out here today. Thank you, Supervisor, for bringing us the PTA, the NAACP, Decoding Dyslexia, fighting this battle year in, year out, and all of you. We're going to put SB 237 on the governor's desk with your help. Thank you very much, and God bless.